the voice evolves necessarily. I mean, obviously, as we all age, things change, right? I would say early on, because I was so nervous and I was so excited to be doing the show, my biggest problem was they could never slow me down. And I was like, but squirrels are fast anyway, right?
You're not wrong. You've done your squirrel homework.
Right? So maybe I've done a little bit better with slowing down enough that they can actually understand the words I'm saying. So maybe that's gotten better.
Hi, Carolyn. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Congratulations on the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm sure you're probably still recovering from Comic-Con. My co-host and I were just there, and it was SpongeBob mania.
It was like nothing I've ever seen. I mean, I knew that they were going all out, but I didn't know they were going all out.
Well, yeah, like
I
all
didn't
the
know
buildings.
we had the buildings covered, that we were in H Hall, that we had 6,100 people there. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember we tried lining up, and they were just kind of like, okay, we're kind of camping in here. We're like, okay, well, we'll have to. Well, I'm like, we're going to be talking to Carolyn on Sunday, so we'll have that moment for us then.
Oh, you didn't get into H Hall?
No.
Oh,
no,
man.
they couldn't. Yeah, it was a bit crazy. We got to start off by asking, first of all, this movie is absolutely fantastic. Why was now the best time for a Sandy Cheeks movie?
I have no idea. I really don't. But I think it must be like there's something magical that happens sometimes. I think about this. Like the fact that SpongeBob was created by Steve Hillenburg when it was, and it kind of flew under the radar, and it was allowed to be as creative as it wanted to be because nobody had eyes on it, right? Like the network wasn't like micromanaging it. Steve was just doing what Steve did. And so it kind of just became, and there's magic in that, right? And so I feel like it must be the same. It must be like all the stars aligned for whatever reason for it to come out now.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that it happened because, there's so many characters from the SpongeBob world that are fantastic that you just really want to dive more into. And Sandy is one of those characters that is so unique and so interesting, really. Someone from, above sea level finally kind of getting their dues. So that was great.
And I think it's relatable. I never really fit in. Like I'm one of those people that never really had that crowd that I felt like got me, right? I kind of moved between all the different worlds, like in high school, right? Like I was friends with the cheerleaders and I was friends with and I was friends with but I didn't have like a core thing. And so Sandy's very much like that. And yet everybody loves her. And she's created this family in Bikini Bottom that accepts her for who she is, even though she's a mammal. Like they don't care anymore. And I think
she's just got this level of confidence, right?
Right. It's a great message all the way around about engaging and honoring and being friends with people that are different than you.
Absolutely. And something that we also loved so much about this movie is that there's this lovely animation style. And, it continuously has evolved with SpongeBob. We've seen so many different iterations. How would you say that your voice has evolved after all these years playing this character in new animation styles?
I don't know that the voice evolves necessarily. I mean, obviously, as we all age, things change, right? I would say early on, because I was so nervous and I was so excited to be doing the show, my biggest problem was they could never slow me down. And I was like, but squirrels are fast anyway, right?
You're not wrong. You've done your squirrel homework.
Right? So maybe I've done a little bit better with slowing down enough that they can actually understand the words I'm saying. So maybe that's gotten better. I did think it was funny in this movie because this happens in life too. Like when you're from a part of the country where you have a certain accent or a certain dialect or whatever, when you're out of your element, it kind of fades. And then when you're back with your family, it comes back full on. Like my dad was a New Yorker, right? And when he was with his family, like it came out. And when I was watching the movie, I was like, oh, she's all in the movie. Like when she's with her family, it became very apparent that she was from Texas. And I love that.
Love that. We love that so much. Something that also we love about SpongeBob is the comedy. The humor really has shaped a lot of what I think my other two co-hosts, their humor is built around the randomness, the zaniness of SpongeBob. Do you feel like you have like a favorite gag or a joke that just kind of feels so random but always makes you laugh?
I don't think I have one specific one, but I do feel like we're kind of like the Three Stooges. Like back in the day, physical comedy was such a big part, right? of old TV shows and like Dick Van Dyke or like the old comedy was very physical. And I feel like we had kind of lost that a little bit. And I feel SpongeBob brought it back. Like it's more about the little moments that we can all relate to, because it doesn't matter where you're from or what language you speak. You get that moment. You get that moment when Fred falls and hurts his leg every time. Like those moments make sense, and they're always going to be funny.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, after all these years, it still makes us laugh the exact same way, and that's something that we love. And it was so awesome to see everything at Comic-Con. Carolyn, thank you so much for your time. I'm so happy that we got this opportunity, and we really hope we get to talk to you in the future.
Oh, thank you. Me too. Next time, you have to wave, and I'll pull you into the hall.
I'm going to hold you to that. Okay.
Okay,
Next
you got
Hall
it.
H.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, everybody.